We are going to head out. Get my partner in the car here, and then you're going to follow me. And we are going to be passing the largest wholesale auto auction in the world. It's called the Mannheim Auto Auction. It employs 1,600 people and handles 550,000 cars, which are only sold to dealers. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of Noah and Mary Kreider. Noah married Mary Hershey in 1928. Now, she was of the Hershey chocolate family. So how well does milk and chocolate go together? Wow, good choice, Noah. And they lived in the town of Paradise, but it wasn't a paradise for them. Things were tough financially. So they ended up moving down here with Grandpa Hershey on the farm. And they liked Grandpa Hershey's farm. So they decided that they wanted to buy it. Well, there were some other family members that were interested in buying it also. So Grandpa Hershey did what we do a lot around here. He had an auction. And Noah and Mary did buy it for $12,000, 102 acres, 200 chickens, and 12 cows. Now, Noah was very progressive. He didn't want to use horse and plow. He decided he was going to buy an Alice Chalmers tractor. His neighbors made fun of him. But in 1935, he bought an Alice Chalmers tractor, and he plowed his fields and helped his neighbors out with their fields. Now, by 1937, 2 years later, okay, we're going to get in the right lane. 2 years later, Noah not only paid off the tractor, but he paid off the farm. So, that was a good investment. And we're going to be turning right onto Sun Hill. Then Noah and Mary had some children. One of their children was Noah Jr., fondly called Junie. Now, Junie married Marion, and they had 3 children, and one of their children was Ron. Ron decided in 2001 that he wanted to buy the farm, except it wasn't just one farm now. It was 28 farms over 2,500 acres, 1,400 in the milking herd, 1,700 hummies, those are the calves, and young cows, which are the heifers, and over 2 million chickens. That was a big investment. Now, Lancaster County is the most productive non-irrigated county in the country. However, the Kreiders do irrigate, and we will learn about their irrigation systems in a little bit. Now, our herd is made up mostly of Holsteins. Those are the black and white cows. We do have some Jerseys, which are the brown cows, and they're a lot smaller, and they produce sweeter milk. And then we have some linebacks with a white line down their back and a spotted Dalmatian face. And they eat less and produce more cream. As we come down the hill, you will see our pivot irrigation system over in the field above the corn on the left, only for a moment. And then we see a beautiful barn mural of a cow there on the barn. Her name is Bessie. She was one of the Kreiders' first 12 cows, and she had a reputation. She did not like tardy milkers. So she learned to pull the rope on the barn gate and let all the cows into the barn if the milkers were tardy. Hence, she got the nickname Bossy. Okay, so if you look right here to the right, you can see her. Miss Bossy is so popular that she has a light on her till 12 midnight. Okay, we're taking a left turn onto Penryn. The farm on the right is not a Kreider farm, but all the land on the left is. When we come down past the tall corn on the right, we will be able to see a pivot irrigation system, which is set by the crop managers underground for speed and frequency, and roams the fields and spreads water and our biofertilizer, which you'll learn more about in a little bit. And in the field, there's our pivot irrigation system way over there. And you can see our new maternity barn. that incorporates, with the cupolas on it, that incorporates our birthing, our delivery, and our recovery. And we are going to be coming down here, and we are going to be turning right into our farm shop. Okay, here's the pivot irrigation system. And our new maternity barn has 32 cupolas on top with fans in them that control the ventilation in the maternity barn. Okay, so we're going to be taking a right turn. And we're going to come into the farm shop, which houses our large farm machinery, our combines, our harvesters, our tractors, and our 30 semis that have 3 sleepers and take our product to our market area from Boston, Massachusetts to Richmond, Virginia. Alright, we're coming up Indian Village Road now. And here's another one of our semis. And the corn is so tall we can't see. There's a pivot irrigation system to our left, and there's one to our right. You can see the cupolas of the new maternity barn just over the corn there. There's a weather station in that new barn that determines the wind speed, the rain, the humidity, and the temperature. That allows the barn sides to respond. So if it's too hot, the barn sides go up and the fans go on. If it's too cold, the barn sides go down. Now, if you look up here to the left, this is the homestead, the original homestead. It was purchased on a Red Rose land grant from William Penn's sons, and all they had to do was pay one perfect red rose every year. Well, I like that kind of mortgage. Wish we had those these days. You see that little bell cupola on the roof? That was built in 1791 when the White House was being built in Washington, D.C. All right. We're going to come up now past some more of the corn, and you'll be able to see the silo on your right side that was moved. And you'll also see the top of the maternity barn. And then as we get around to the corn here on the right, you will see the carousel and the other cow barn. And up here to our left, right down through this spacing in here, is the cemetery, the Kreider Hershey Cemetery, and Noah's and Marion's headstone are right there at the beginning. Alright, as we come up, you will see some yellow bars to our right. That is the truck scale that weighs our crop feed and our raw milk. And we no longer keep any of our crops in silos because they accumulate dangerous gases. And so we keep them in bunkers. And as we come up to the right, you will see our bunkers. They're covered with plastic and old tires that are cut in half so they won't accumulate water. And we're going to be driving down right in between the bunkers. We're going to take a right turn up here. We have 8 bunkers that hold 5,000 to 10,000 tons of crop feed. That is the only thing our cows eat. It is made up of corn and hay and alfalfa and mineral mix. They are not pasture fed. They are fed that balanced diet. Okay, now we are on the farm. And we are I'm going to turn right a little bit, and we're going to stop, and you're going to look to the left. Okay, we're going to stop. To the left, you will see our state-of-the-art egg processing plants. They are state-of-the-art because they have 40% of the walls cages without walls, a tunnel air ventilation system, and a daily manure belt removal system. You saw the inside of them on our videos. 90% of our production comes from there. Kreider's is the largest remaining dairy and egg farm in the country. We have 3,226 solar panels that provide 1.1 million kilowatts of electricity to run our egg processing plant. And you see some new buildings being built. That is going to be our new aviary that will be named after Noah. It will be finished in November, and it will have no walls in it, so the chickens will roam freely. All right, we're going to move ahead. And you can see an empty bunker here to the right. I think there's two of them. They're using some of them as storage. Now I'll tell you about our cows. They eat 100 pounds of crop feed a day. They take 6 hours to eat. They have 4 stomachs, and they take 8 hours to chew their cud, and they produce 125 pounds of saliva a day. Now you can see the crop feed to the right, dry crop feed there. Now, a number of years ago, the Orthodox Jewish community approached Kreider's and asked if we would produce kosher milk for Pride of the Farm. We agreed to do that, but if you know anything about the Bible, Leviticus 11:3 says our animals are already kosher animals because they have a split hoof and they chew the cud. But we do have a resident rabbi called a mashgiach who lives on the property 24/7. His home is in the trailer ahead of us, where the red truck is. And he also has another rabbi that comes up from Baltimore and spots him when he's sleeping. He supervises, we're going to turn left here, he supervises the production of the milk to make sure it is pure. Alright, we're going to be moving up here, and we are going to stop up here at this rock. And I'm going to stop, and I'm going to tell you about the barns around us. Up on the top of the hill is the vacation barn. That is used for our cows when they're at their 7th month of pregnancy. Our cow's pregnancy is 9 months and 10 days. At 7 months, we dry them out. So the last 2 months of their pregnancy, they are not milked. So we have a group up there drying out. We have another group in the barn ahead of us that is the hospital barn. There's another group drying out because we usually dry out a group every week. Also ahead of us in the hospital barn, we have cows that are sick or that need that their production is down. And if they are given medication, they are milked separately because the medication comes out in the milk, and all of that milk is destroyed. All of our milk is RBST hormone free. Now we're going to drive around to the perfume factory. Now you know our cows don't produce perfume. However, they do produce 52 tons of manure a day. And we are the first dairy farm to have a Bion waste treatment facility right on site. And I will tell you how it works. Okay, we're going to pull up here. To the left is a machine called our super duper pooper scooper. And we're going to stop right here. There starts out a scraper in the cow palaces that moves underneath the feet of the cows and scrapes up the manure and sends it to a screw press that separates the solid manure from the liquid manure. All of the solid manure is over to our left. That's where it's placed. It is moved from section to section by our super duper pooper scooper that takes a month to process. Once the solid manure is processed, then it is taken back to the cows in the cow palace to be used as bedding for them. Also, some of it is used from a local electric plant as combustible fuel to heat 1,800 homes. Where you see the white pipe is our 1 million gallon tank of liquid manure. We grow bacteria in there that separate 70% of the nutrients. And then this little white building to your front and left is our pump station. Now we're going to move ahead, and that pumps the liquid manure from the tank to the Moo Lagoon, which is ahead of us. Now the Moo Lagoon is definitely a place you do not want to take a swim. From the Moo Lagoon, our liquid manure is pumped out through our pivot irrigation systems to fertilize our fields. We have some barns over there, and they're all facing east because our cows are susceptible to ringworm, and sun coming in from the east kills the ringworm. Now, our baby calves, which are born 5 to 7 a day, are in the barn ahead of us with the cupolas on it, the new maternity barn. Once they are born, they are given their mom's milk within the first hour after birth because they are born without an immune system. After they are fed their mother's milk, that helps them build up an immune system so they can fight disease. Okay? So, then they are transferred over here to the first set of barns. And they are separated from their moms. The boys are sold and the girls are sent over here. And they are kept there for the first 6 weeks where they're weaned from the bottle to the bucket. And once they're weaned to the bucket, then they're moved to the second group of barns where they're weaned from the bucket to the crop feed. And that is where they're kept for about 12 to 15 weeks. Now I'll tell you a little bit about our ladies. They are very well dressed. They have an earring in each ear with a number that tells who they are. We have names, they have numbers. And they have a bracelet, usually on their front left leg, that has a computer chip in it that records their health, their movement, their breeding cycle, and their production. When they go to the carousel, that data is transferred to another computer for the manager to see so he can keep up with the health of the cows. This barn here to our right is the cow palace. You see yellow brushes on each side. That's where used for stimulating blood circulation, removing old hair and dirt, and removing parasites from the cow's eyebrows. We have 1,400 ladies on the buffet line, which is a sixth of a mile long, 2 feet wide, and it's lined with tile to protect the cow's tongues. Our cows do not like to be hot, so we have an extended roof, an open ceiling, 124 fans, and a shower system. Our cows drink about 50 gallons of water a day, and they produce 6 pounds of their own soda bicarb, which protects their stomachs from acid, and we give them more soda bicarb to help protect their stomachs also. Now we're going to see if we can get in this new maternity barn before the robot starts to push the crop feed up. I'm looking to see if it's... Yes, it's in its place. Okay. All right. We're going through this new cow palace. We have our young heifers on the left side. They have not been impregnated, and they will be impregnated at 12 months. We have our recovering cows on the right side who have given birth. You can also see a black brush here instead of a yellow brush. All of our ladies are kept in the same social group so that it helps keep down their stress. They are less susceptible to disease, and they produce more milk after they give birth. So, our cows in recovery on the right side stay there for about 30 days, and then they're moved to the other barn. Now, over here on the left, you're going to see a Jersey. Well, no, you're not going to see a Jersey. You're going to see a red. This is a red Holstein. Number 11677 is a red Holstein. And the robot you see is that big round thing on the left. That pushes the crop feed up for the cows to eat. Now, as we come down here, near the herdsman shack are the birthing pens. This is where our ladies give birth, down here. So let's see if we have anybody in there. No, I don't see any ladies in the birthing pen. Nobody. To our right is the recovery, the post-delivery pen, where they go after they've given birth, and there's nobody over there. This is the herdsman shack, and there you see one of the herdsmen there on the left. And we're going to keep moving down. We have the heifers on the left, and we have the ladies in recovery on the right. They stay in the post-delivery pen for about 2 days, and then they're transferred to the recovery pens, like I said, for 30 days. It takes us about 4.5 hours to milk the whole herd, and they're milked 3 times a day, which takes about 15 hours. We keep our cows as long as they're productive, which is usually about 3 to 10 years. There's a scraper here. You can see it on the floor on the left. Our cows produce 90 pounds or a little over 10 gallons of milk a day. After they give birth, sometimes their production is double that. Okay. So this barn is very technologically advanced. It also, in addition to the weather station and the fans in the cupolas and the walls that go up and down, it also has light dimmers that dim down when the cows need to go to sleep. And the cows definitely enjoy their new surroundings here. All right, we are going to go down the cement platform and pass by the other barn.